Yeah.
Right, okay. So we're here with Liam Hughes, Josh Coulson and Dusty, Ian Miller. And we're going to chat about their time at Cambridge United and the antics they got up to. So starting off, obviously, Liam, you look ridiculous with that pink hair. Obviously, you was always the butt of jokes with your dress sense. Dusty, tell us about some of the jokes that Hughesy used to have to put up with in terms of his dress sense.
Well, he kind of brought it on himself. He did love some absolute rascal clobber. And everyone, I swear, everyone used to come in early just so they could see Hughesy walk through the dressing room door to see what he was modelling today. And it was normally like a mishmash of patterns and colours. Like it was just wild. It really was. But he didn't care. Like that was the best bit, was that he didn't care, but he thought he looked ledge.
Is it true that he used to buy most clothes from Primani?
Definitely.
Yeah, he was not ashamed of that either.
I still do. It's nothing wrong.
Whole outfit for what, 17 quid usually?
Less, to be honest.
Less.
Much less.
Outfit from Primani, shoes from Bob's, whatever they were.
Yeah, Josh, tell us about Hughesy's footwear and his fake togs.
Bob's, mate, he come in, you know them Toms, the shoe make Toms.
Yeah.
Which are ridiculous anyway. Hughesy thought he'd come in some Bob's. Fake Toms.
In my defence, yeah, you couldn't tell they were Bob's unless you got right.
Apart from it said Bob's on the back. You couldn't tell.
Massive, plastered all over them.
Genuinely though, I knew that I looked good in it. Like these two Herberts couldn't pull it off. I can. That's the difference with me and these guys.
You're pulling it off's totally different to my pulling it off, mate.
Oh dear. Anyway, so Liam, tell us about when the boys stitched you up with your chinos and battered your chinos up.
That's right. I had this like nice pair of like maroon, like, burgundy chinos that I used to wear with my Bobs, and I had this. I think it was at the Common. I don't know where it was, but it was at the ground. And I got in the shower, come out, and like the lads had put fish in my pockets. And then I think it was like Kev Roberts and Ricky Wellard. They were like punching my pockets. So all the fish exploded in my pockets. And I had to stay and wash them at the club. I had to get Mick to help me wash them at the club and use washing.
Lovely. So it's safe to say you was the worst dressed player in the team then. So who was the best dressed player, lads?
I was the worst and the best. Depends on it, doesn't it?
Who was the best?
Me and Josh just used to kind of play it safe, and we used to have like grey tracksuits.
I knew he was going to say it.
Matching like twins.
So as they say, the word for safe is boring. Like boring. Like where this like grey jogging bottoms.
Yeah, but then we used to go on a night out, and you'd be wearing exactly the same as what you wear into the training room. and to be fair, like you even made the club tracksuit look bad. Like the club suit looked bad. You couldn't tie your knot. Like it's sloppy.
The first tracksuit we had though, they were like no one looked good in that. Like they were like flared bottoms are horrendous.
It must have been bad if you're saying it's horrendous. Jesus.
Okay, so Josh, tell us about the PFA story you was telling me about when you boys went down there.
Oh, no, Dusty, you tell it, because you tell it so much better than me.
Yeah, well, I don't know why we decided to go as a trio. Like, I think we had a few people there, didn't we? But I think everyone else was staying down a few nights, and we was like, let's get down, turn around and come back. And
you was going to drive, weren't you?
I was due to drive, but I just had an op on my knee, so Hughesy kind of stepped forward and was like, it's all right, I'll drive us down there in the Laguna. So we kind of flew down there, like, surprised we made it, to be fair. Like, it was rattling around like a good one. we find the car park that we should be in. So it's at Grosvenor Hotel, so quite a swanky place in Mayfair. Like, probably never seen a lagoon around Mayfair, to be fair. And we put into this car park, and these kind of shutters open up. We drive in. Hughesy winds down his window to the guy that comes to the door, and he's like, "Oh yeah, we've got a car parking space." Like both Josh and I looking around, there's like all these like top of the range sports cars parked in there, undercovers and stuff like that. So anyway, we're on the list. We drive in, but we're not dressed. So we then get dressed into our suits in this car park. And as we're coming out, Hughesy goes up to the guy and because the guy was like, "Have you got the key for the car, just in case we need to move it?" And he chucks him this like credit card that the Renault Laguna had, and he's like, "Oh, it's keyless entry. Have you ever had one of these?" And then he even has the audacity to ask for a cover for his Laguna.
He goes, "Do you know how to use one of these, mate?" He was like, "Yeah."
It was so funny.
I'm awkward in my life. And I think it made it worse because I had my dad's tuxedo as well, so it was too like big for me. So as we was then walking out to go to the event, like everyone's in these dapper fitted suits. I've walked out with my hair literally spiky because I've had to do it in the car park without a mirror, and the baggiest tuxedo you've ever seen. I looked like I was like won a raffle prize. That's what I looked like when I was turning up.
I think the bloke was surprised. I think he thought that you was possibly our driver. And he was like, "Why are you going with it?"
Oh, he does look like a driver, doesn't he? Look at him.
Chauffeur.
Oh.
So, who's your fanboying at the PFAs then? I heard that a few of you nearly got chucked out for harassing a few players.
Tim Cahill that weren't even there.
Yeah, Tim. We met Tim Cahill, but then we found out it was his brother.
Yeah. Tim, can we have a photo, mate? He walks off. I'm like, his name's Gary, isn't it? Oh no.
I think I was waving a patch at him as well.
Yeah.
Right.
Come in.
Hughesy, what about you? Like starting a load of chants at players at the bar?
No, so me and Birdie were, I think we was looking for Champs because Champs had disappeared. And me and Birdie.
Hughesy, take your headphones out.
Take your headphones out. I can't hear you.
Yeah, and unplug them.
No.
Put it out.
Yeah, is that better?
Have you pulled it out?
Yeah.
It's because his mouth's so small, he can't get any like volume out of it. A little cat bum mouth.
Can you hear me better now?
Yeah, go on, crack on.
No, so I was saying that me and Birdie was looking for Champs, and then we went into the lobby, and we saw Carlo Toure coming down the stairs, and me and Birdie started that chant like yeah, and dancing around him, and he had the biggest necklace, do you know, like rappers wear with the big medallions on the bottom, like wearing his baseball cap sideways, obviously heading out. Me and Birdie, me in my oversized tuxedo, like, obviously, like with my hair everywhere, Birdie like just clinging on to Carlo Toure, getting selfies.
Carlo Torre, not Colo. Carlos. His distant cousin.
I think that was
Carlo.
Calling him the wrong name. Koala Toure.
So let's talk about that season then. What was it like, Josh, playing under Richard Money?
Interesting. Fantastic coach, mate. Like sessions were brilliant. Tactically, very, very good. Personally, we fell out. We didn't fall out. I felt he treated me a bit harsh sometimes, every now and then. But what he done for the football club was incredible. The team that he put together, and obviously what we achieved together was brilliant. So I'm sure he will go down in history for that club for being one of the greatest managers.
Does Hughesy think he's playing like on through the keyhole or something?
There we go.
Oh yeah, we can hear you lots better now, mate.
I'm on the laptop. I don't know what I'm doing wrong with technology these days.
Blimey, we're seeing all around your house.
You need a magical wand.
Done.
Hey. Hughesy, was it like then for you playing in that team?
Yeah, it was almost like similar to Josh, but I think with Richard, like, he would say one thing to me, and then I'd still play. So he'd like call me everything under the sun. Like, I think I frustrated him quite a bit, but he'd then still play me. Right, so it was a little bit old school. I remember getting Lincoln away, and at half time I got hung up on a peg in the changing room. He come in and volleyed the water bottles, didn't he? And literally picked me up and put me on a peg. So yeah, it's a bit old school, but I respect him. Like, what he did for the club, like Josh said, was unbelievable.
Okay, and Dusty, obviously you played at Wembley a couple of times before. Do you think that helped with having that bit of experience going into the 2 games for Cambridge at Wembley?
Yeah, I think that FA Trophy game was like the perfect ease in for us. You know, and that's no disrespect to Gosport Borough. I just think that for people that hadn't been in that environment, sometimes you can spend the first 10, 15 minutes of a game being like, whoa, look at this. Like,
almost like freezing on the big stage.
Whereas, you know, we kind of hit the ground running when we played that trophy game. And then the playoff game was, you know, we went down on the day, we did nothing different. So I think it certainly helped everyone. You know, we had a few experienced boys in there, and even though Chadders didn't start the playoff game, like being in and around people, like, helped massively.
So do you think having that experience is good, like, and influential in the changing rooms? Then do you think that helped?
Yeah, like, I think if you don't, then there's a big chance that you'll go and play the occasion, like, and be like, I'll play differently because it's a big cup final at Wembley. Whereas we were so grounded, and I think, you know, Dickie Dosh kind of did, you know, both him and Alan Nielsen, I think they both kind of instilled that it was just another 90 minutes of football. And after probably half an hour in the trophy game, like, it turned into a little bit of a kickball game for us. Like, it was so enjoyable, like, unlike every other game that I've played there.
Okay, so almost like a training session type thing, you would say?
Yeah.
No, with no disrespect to Gosport, as you've already said.
No,
so
they did have a couple. You know, they had a couple of half chances, and they deserved to be there. But we were just so much more powerful in every area of the pitch, and you could tell that by the type of finishing. Like, I thought Bez was excellent that game. You know, and
Second goal was a joke, wasn't it?
Yeah. And it, you know, it was another hot day, which probably helped us more than them.
Definitely. And also, leading into the playoffs game, we weren't exactly great in form, were we? How did the boys feel going into that?
God, we were not on form at all, and didn't the gaffer let us know, by the way.
Wow.
We did not want Halifax, to be honest. They were on fire, and we were just not in good form. But I think the group, as a group, we knew we could turn up not whenever we wanted, but we knew a big game will turn up. We'll do the job. Look, we lost 1-0 in the first leg. I don't know why. Great penalty. Made it exciting, but the second game, obviously, Delano with 2 great goals, and again, a great solid performance to get us through the tie, which I think deep down we sort of knew we could achieve before it even started. So
I think it was a tough lead up as well for us, because, you know, as much as you try not to, that distraction of us getting to a cup final in the trophy, like, and then when Luton were obviously, you know, absolutely flying, and then you kind of know that, okay, so it's going to be playoffs. So then, you know, do we go full tilt, or do we kind of save a little bit of energy to kind of, for those last few games? Like, we lost to Gateshead. As Josh said, we didn't want to play Halifax because they were flying. So it was a whole roller coaster of emotion, really.
Okay, and obviously on the day, we're going to have to speak about it, aren't we? I know he's still dining out and scoring at Wembley. Hughesy, talk us through the goal.
I did a little bit for coconuts, and I relived like the day, but like building up to the goal and stuff. I just remember we worked on the set plays before, and Richard obviously was kind of regimented with us with our set plays and the build up, like Ian said and Josh said, that we prepared and did everything right. and everything. We going into that, we knew that we'd done that, so we was confident in that sense. And the lead up to the goal, the set play, we'd worked on it on the training pitch, and luckily for me, Ryan put it on a postage stamp, and I couldn't really miss, to be fair. But then, obviously, all them emotions, you can't really pinpoint one.
Obviously, you ran off to the wrong stand to start with.
Yeah, I ran off to the wrong stand, the empty one. I think Josh was like next.
So we got a nice photo though, Hughes. He said, "Don't
Yeah,
matter,
we
mate."
did. And yeah, I just remember like from then on in, just looking around and like everybody oozing with confidence, like because I think deep down we all knew. And then before the game, like I was quite anxious, nervous, you know, excited. And then when Ian got injured, I just remember all them feelings coming flooding back to me, like thinking, oh, like because Ian was a big leader for us on the pitch, off the pitch. And I'm saying that out of respect, not because I like him, because I don't like him.
Never liked you, Hughesy, mate.
But yeah, he like when that happened, it was almost like looking around for somebody to step up to the plate, and them anxieties again kicking in, and then I just remember looking around and everybody kind of having that grit and determination look on their face to almost do it for the club, do it for each other, you know, which was class.
It was a long 9 minutes, wasn't it, or whatever it was. It felt like an hour.
Didn't you have to go as emergency centre half for Hughesy?
Yeah, me and Josh, we were chilling back there, and I remember like in the
We weren't bad enough. Dusty going off injured. Hughes's got to come back with me.
I bet you was panicking, Josh.
I went up for a header with that Curtis, and it literally went this close wide, and like.
I still watch that header and think, how's he not scored that?
I know.
I feel like you in the Man United header, Josh.
Meant that.
I was still surprised when, you know, we were 2-1 up, that they didn't really throw bodies forward. Like, if I'm a manager of a team and I'm 20 minutes from going out of a promotion final, like I'd have thrown that front, I'd have literally done everything. But they were still looking to make 30 passes and gain no possession. So until kind of Leicester got that sniff, they didn't carve us open. Like, we were so compact, you know, we limited them to a few chances. And then that kind of last 10 minutes, what I wasn't involved in, like I kind of knew that, like, we had the characters. We weren't a team full of superstars, but we were a team of people that were just going to, you know, have each other's backs, graft for each other, and you know, they're a man down, and everyone's just pulled together. Even like bringing Ad Cunnington up, like, you know, if you'd have told him to chase a crisp packet around Wembley, he'd have done it for him.
That was the type of team we had, though, Dusty, wasn't it? Like, no egos, no nothing like that. Just a group of lads that all wanted the same thing, all just wanted to work hard and get on and achieve something special, which we ended up doing. So
I think in the final, it highlighted the importance of that triangle of you two and Tom Champion, because Gateshead were a possession team, weren't they? Like under Gary Mills, they kept the ball nicely. They were pretty, and I think the final. I mean, throughout the whole team, the spine 1 to 11, like we worked hard all season. But the final, what you said, Darian, about like that compactness of the group, highlighted just how important having Josh, Ian, and Tom Champion in there. Like they were, like Champs was unbelievable for us.
Well, we started off with 3 at the back. Remember that?
Oh my God. Hey,
3 at the back. I played outside of Dusty. Jesus. I was blowing up for 5 minutes. Soon changed that back though, didn't we?
Yeah. Wow.
I think, you know, as good as we were defensively, like the boys in front of us just gave us a license to, you know, Josh and I both spoke about it because we were in a car school, but like we would go into games and we would be like, I felt super confident we weren't going to concede goals, and I knew the boys in front of us would score goals. And whether that would be from Donaldson sticking a ball on a postage stamp, or, you know, Bez making a third man run, or the abundance of strikers we had, Like we had so many threats on goal, it was ridiculous.
So that kind of gives you confidence then, doesn't it? Obviously, we've talked before, Dusty, haven't we, about team spirit.
Yeah.
Do you think, obviously, you don't need to have amazing players, obviously, just a good bit of team spirit kind of gets you through in some games, like you've just explained as well, isn't it?
Well, I think if you would have had like the egos that Josh said about, all of a sudden, like they can contaminate the dressing room. You know, they can influence the players that are injured or out of favour, and then it turns into a sour place. And we had those egos that came in, and it wasn't necessarily Richard Money that got rid of them. It was the tightness, the unity of the dressing room that got rid of them. You know, you look at Slew that came in. I wouldn't have said that it was Richard Money that was like, he's not for us. It was the fact that he came into the dressing room. He thought he was better than everyone else that was in there. Like he didn't socialise with anyone in there. He never spoke to anyone really, and he just had this swagger about him that didn't fit into the way that we was.
Interesting, yeah. Okay. Dusty, talk us about, obviously, the emotions of playing at Wembley and then having to go off injured as a player. Like, how did you find that?
Yeah, I remember, like, as soon as it happened, I knew it.
Has he paused?
Yeah, it's paused.
Facial.
I was thinking,
Oh no.
I had tears and the sun in my eyes. And
you back?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, it was incredible.
And then as soon as I got out of sight, like it was almost.
Wait, Dusty. Wait.
Dusty,
We
you
missed
paused,
time
mate.
for that. You just
Huh?
paused.
Did it?
Yeah, start again, Dusty, from the beginning.
You should have let him carry on.
Nah, you're horrible. You're my best friend. I'm not letting him do that.
At the end.
Well, yes. So I obviously, as soon as it happened, I knew it wasn't good. And I remember actually crying as I was laying there, knowing that it was my game done and dusted. And as soon as I went off the pitch, it was almost like I got locked into a soundproof room, because I got carried kind of underneath the stand through the tunnel, and I could still hear all the fans. And then as soon as I went through the doors, like there was nothing. And I wasn't aware of anything that was going on until probably it had been finished about 5 or 10 minutes. No one told me anything. And then when I was told that we'd won, I was like, right, I need to get out on the pitch. And they were like, well, we can't move you. You've snapped your Achilles. And I remember saying that I'll crawl out there. And that's when they brought that stupid woman
wheelchair
and wheeled me out. So
great memories of the wheelchair.
You two still left marks on the pitch.
Oh, we got so told off, but nothing was stopping us.
I just remember being at the bottom of the steps, and I didn't see them lift the cup, but I was at the bottom of the steps as they literally started to come down the stairs. And I remember then, like, I was just an emotional wreck. I don't know whether it was because, and I don't think it was because I knew I was injured. I think it was that whole elation of promotion. Like, we'd built up for it for the whole season. I remember speaking to Jez and Richard like 9 months previous before I signed, and that was the goal. And we kept it in-house, and we kind of knew that that's where we wanted to go. We knew that we weren't the biggest hitters in the league. We knew that financially we didn't have the most amount of money. But I think it was that accumulation of everything. Like, it was just a release of emotion for me.
And to do it with that group of people made it even more special, I think. Like friends for life. Like obviously, these two, this idiot with the pink hair, Dono, Champs, Tatey, all them, mate. Like it was a great group. So to achieve something like that with them people makes it even better.
Josh, obviously been a Cambridge lad through and through. Talk me through what it felt like for you, obviously playing at Wembley for your team and stuff.
It was that full-time whistle, mate, was a very emotional. I didn't know what to do. I sort of just froze because I didn't know where I was going or what to do. Just froze, dropped to my knees, and yeah, very emotional, mate. Unbelievable, obviously, to celebrate with my club at Wembley getting promoted. We'd been in that league for a long time, and worked a lot of hard work went into getting promoted. So yeah, very emotional. A day that I'll never forget. Day that should go down in history with that football club, and no one can take that away from us. So yeah, really proud.
And Hughesy, obviously you didn't make it all night to the partying, did you? Because you ended up in hospital, am I right?
Yeah, I had a bit too much to drink, and then Greg Taylor smashed a bottle on my finger and sliced my finger open. So I didn't even see the rest of the boys. We was ready to go out round town in our tracksuits, but I never even made it.
When he says too much to drink, he had 2 bottles of Corona. That's too much for him.
It went straight to his nose.
Very good.
Now me and Donna was drinking in the press box, because they wanted the goal scorers in there and stuff to talk about. And me and Donna, we was in there with Rich and Money, and we was drinking in there, so we obviously started a little bit before everyone else. So.
Well, that'll check that.
I got drugs tested. I missed all the celebrations.
Well, you did.
You did, didn't you?
I can never go to the toilet after games. That's the last thing I want to do. And then being sat there in a wheelchair as well, it just kind of added insult into injury, really.
Yeah, it's a bit bad, isn't it? It's a bit harsh. Not great.
So in the conference, you get drug tested once a year. That's like the final.
I know. I only got a 3 out of 10 as well, so I wasn't even one of the better players. I don't know why they drug tested me.
So obviously, the next season, what do you think went wrong with Richard Money and post Wembley back in the Football League, Dusty?
It's kind of funny because I obviously saw the first kind of 4 months of that season from the sidelines, so I kind of saw it as a coach or a manager, because I'd watch training whilst I was in the gym or whatever. And we kind of probably had that mentality of, we've gone up, we need to spend a bit of money, we need to get a couple of big hitters in and go again. Whereas if we'd have probably, stayed to the same squad and got more of the workhorse type players, I think we'd have turned into a little bit of an Atkinson that could have played a little bit, that would have, no one would have wanted to come to us, and we'd have worked hard. And whereas we had players in that didn't really fit to that ethos, really.
Okay. And obviously you used to pull a few pranks. Tell people about you hiding in wardrobes. That's one of my favourite ones.
Yeah. Josh and I were roomies, and I'm sure it was leading up to the Man United game where we was away, and we'd normally sit in the room and we'd chat for about 20 minutes. We'd probably consume our body weight in sweets, and then we'd so it would be like,
there's not many sweets in your case, Dust.
Oh, the selection of sweets was always decent. Anyway,
you weigh about a bag of Haribo, mate.
We ran around a few rooms, and I was PFA delegate, so we concocted this story that they needed to come to the room to sign these forms for the PFA. And so I hid in there was a big wardrobe. It was probably a little bit smaller than what I thought it was. It was a bit snug. I hid in there, closed the doors, and then they came in. Josh would have a little bit of a conflab with them. Would have a key word, like a trigger word, and then I'd jump out of them. But I didn't have much on. Like I just had a sock. That was it.
I was going to say, just a sock.
I had a dressing gown, the tie for the dressing gown.
Thing tied around your head.
Yeah.
Dear, oh dear.
Tatey was good. Tatey absolutely went for it.
Yeah.
One of them.
Yeah, he did that. Then he picked me up and wrestled me onto the bed. He absolutely threw himself.
Josh, obviously you come back recently playing for Leyton Orient, back to the Abbey for the first time. How did that feel?
Weird. It was, obviously I was on the bench, so but still a bit weird. Nice to see some friendly faces, and it was quite nice when we went 3-0 up, I'm not going to lie. But then it went 3-2, and then I got on last 5-10 minutes. Nice ovation, which was really nice. Just good to be back. Felt weird turning right in the tunnel instead of turning left to the home dressing room, but really nice to be back there, mate.
Talking of dressing rooms and tunnels, tell me the story, or tell people the story you told me about the Man United game lining up in the tunnel at the Abbey.
Madness, mate. Like, what was it? Was it a Friday night? Was it a Friday night?
Yeah.
Night game. You know how small it is. Obviously, they're used to Old Trafford, this big old tunnel, flash. I remember just walking out the door in the tunnel, looking at them, thinking, these I do not want to be here. It was cold. It was wet. Surreal, though, obviously, standing in that tunnel, coming up against Di Maria and Falcao and people like that in little old Cambridge was quite funny. And obviously what happened in the game to get the draw was incredible. Probably one of the most fun games I've had. We had no pressure on us. It's Man United, we're not supposed to get a result against them. So yeah, to obviously keep a clean sheet and get a draw and go back to Old Trafford was special.
And obviously big celebrations in the change rooms after at the 0-0 draw.
Yeah, it was better than a win. Well, it was better than a win for the club. More money, better to draw for us. We got to play at Old Trafford. Yeah, it was class. I remember the full-time whistle going and celebrating like we had won. It was ledge.
Dusty, obviously, so now, are you still playing football? What are you doing yourself?
Yeah, I'm player coach at Walsham the Willows. I'm just currently doing my UEFA B. So, yeah, mate, I love the game so much, and obviously my company's, currently not doing anything. I've just started coaching some one-to-one stuff, but I love the game, and I want to pass on kind of what I learned, pitfalls that I came across and stuff like that. So I can't ever see me doing anything apart from being involved in the game, mate.
Fair play. And obviously, Hughesy, we know what you're up to with your magic wands.
Yeah, I think it's well documented what I've kind of been through and things that I've done in my past and stuff, and very similar to Dusty, just on a mental health front, try and use some of my experience and what I've been through to kind of empower young people or anybody who may be suffering in silence out there. Got a lot coming on, hopefully getting Chadders on next week and having a chat with him, because he's obviously well documented with his things, what he's been through in his past, and spoke openly about it, which is real brave. So hopefully get Chadders on. And yeah, we're going to try and get to youth teams across the UK with the new project that we've just been designing called Trapped Inside the Box, which talks about the pressures of youth team football, about the statistics and everything, about who's been against you. But I think 0.012% of players will go on to have a career in football. So it's just about educating young people really in football.
And you've obviously been busy this week, haven't you? You've been on a few different channels and talk sport and stuff. I know Shaggy was really impressed with the podcast he'd done with you.
Yeah, it was a good experience. Obviously, we did Daniel, me and Shaggy was on a podcast, which was really good to hear Shaggy's story. It was on TalkSport, obviously sharing with them what we're doing and a little bit more about the experiences that I went through and what I've suffered with for years. So yeah, we've been doing quite a lot, been trying to talk and really raise awareness. But like I say, this is not something that we just do for the week, just because it's Mental Health Awareness Week. This is something that we try and do every day. So
nice one. Keep up the good work. And Josh, obviously, you're still playing professionally at Orient there. How are you finding the current pandemic with not playing football, and also how are you trying to keep fit and stuff?
It's just the unknown, mate, of not knowing when we're going back or when the next season's going to start. They've said the league's cancelled, but then you read another statement they put out now, and there's a chance that they can get it back on. They're going to, but it's tough. It's tough because you don't know what you need to do. So just do a bit of running here and there, a few hit sessions, stuff like that. Try and keep ticking over. Getting old now, so I don't want to do too much and burn myself out.
Do you think personally that the season will continue?
No, not our level. I think once they sort out the relegation and promotion thing, it will be announced that it'll be all over. But it's just when the next season's going to start.
Yeah, that's the question, isn't it?
Yeah. Tough one.
And obviously, we'll get to see you again next year. Maybe you'll be on the bench again and give us a better chance.
What was the last game we played? Oh, no, that's right. Yeah, we won again 2-1. Yeah, I played that one as well.
To be fair, you
Come on,
had a good game at that one, I thought.
Done all right. It wasn't that hard, to be fair, mate.
Didn't
You're
break into
lining
a
me up for
sweat.
these. You're lining me up for these. Just got the double. You can't banter me about that.
Right, anyway, I think we'll leave it there, boys. Thanks for your time, and we'll catch up all together again soon.
Dusty, was you laughing at that dog you could hear in my thing? I had to mute it. Look, can you hear it? Man, shut up.
Yeah.
Stupid thing. Just let him in. Jesus Christ. Oh, dear. Brilliant.
Cheers, boys.
All right.
Dusty, speak to you later. Hughesy, see you later. Ben, bye-bye, mate.
See you, mate.
Bye,
Take care,
guys.
boys.
Take it easy.